Hey guys, Pastor Ace from Calvary Fellowship here. I hope you're having a good start to your week. I wanted to share something with you because even though it's fairly early on in the week for me here, as I'm recording this, I was already having to deal with a variety of issues, not only as the pastor of Calvary Fellowship, but also just personally. And I think hopefully I'm not the only one that struggles with this, but what can happen is that when I have one issue after another and they kind of start to stack on top of one another, I can struggle with feeling anxiety. I can struggle with feeling a little overwhelmed and maybe even frustrated over these different issues I'm having to deal with. And here's what I've had to remind myself of as I begin to feel those emotions, as I begin to feel maybe negative things that I shouldn't be feeling. I have to remind myself that all of the things that are causing me to worry and to be anxious, I need to give it over to God. You know, I was reminded of 1 Chronicles chapter 16. This is a chapter that's in the middle of telling a story of how King David was able to get the Ark of the Covenant back to the city of Jerusalem where it belonged. The Ark of the Covenant was so important for the Jewish people because it represented the presence of God. And so when the Ark of the Covenant finally arrived in Jerusalem, David was so overcome with joy that he sang a psalm, as he's often known for doing in the Old Testament. And in the middle of his psalm, in 1 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 11, he says this, or sings this: "Seek the Lord in his strength, seek his face continually." So right in the middle of this song of thanking God for being faithful and for bringing the Ark of the Covenant back to where it belonged, David is reminding people, hey, you know what? God is faithful. And so because we trusted in him, because we gave over what was going on in our lives over to him, look what he did for us. And so it's a reminder for us that whatever it is that we're struggling with, we also need to seek his strength, because the strength that we have isn't going to necessarily resolve whatever it is that we're dealing with. But I can tell you that the strength of God will be more than enough. And so we need to seek his face continually. In fact, really quickly, I'm excited to kind of share this with you, especially if you weren't able to be with us in church this past Sunday. We have a burden at Calvary Fellowship to grow our church, to see more people walk through our doors. And so as part of that, we've kind of set a goal for next summer to have a certain amount of people in our church services. And as part of that, we know that the best way, really the main way that this is going to happen, that we can accomplish our goal, is by going to God in prayer. And again, seeking his strength and seeking his face to meet what we feel like God has laid on our hearts, which is to grow our church. And in fact, what we have is we passed out sheets this past Sunday where every single day of the week, we are praying for a specific area of growth within our church. There's the first 4 days here, the last 3 days on the back. We actually have these sheets in the lobby area of our church. We'll have them out again this coming Sunday at 11 a.m. That's our service start time, 11 a.m. We do have Sunday school at 9:45 a.m. But at the front part of the church, in the lobby, you'll see these sheets. I would love if you were able to grab one of these and commit yourself to daily praying for growth in our church. Now, maybe if you happen to be away and maybe you're not close to our church, but you want to support us, please reach out to us. We will find a way to be able to send this sheet to you either via email or some other way digitally. We should be able to provide that for you, because we would love to, not just for our own people to pray for our church, but other fellow believers out throughout the state and throughout the country, praying that we will grow our church. And we are going to take steps of faith that if we do that, if we seek God's strength, if we seek his face, he will be faithful to grow his church. So would you join us in praying for that? And even beyond that, you need to commit every day to seeking his strength anyway to deal with whatever issues that you might be facing. Thank you so much for listening in. As a reminder, I am Pastor Ace. I'm the pastor of Calvary Fellowship Free Will Baptist Church. We're located at 8530 Sterling Road in Hollywood. Our services always start at 11 a.m. every Sunday. We do have Sunday school that starts at 9:45 a.m. Come give us a visit. We would love to have you. Come pray with us. Come worship with us. And God bless you. Have a great day.